Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. My name is Leslie. I am 7 weeks postpartum with a newborn baby. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about some tips and tricks that help me recover after having a baby vaginally. And I'm going to be talking about items in 3 categories: hygiene, breast, and meds. So if you want to keep watching, then stay tuned. So the first category we'll be talking about is hygiene, and so I have a couple of things listed here on my note card. And first I'm going to talk about the adult diapers that I had used that helped me. So I used the ones from the hospital and those did the job, but they weren't the most comfortable. And I also bought some adult diapers from the store for home, and those were more comfortable. And so that's what I was using for the first couple of days, just because it's a lot of blood that's coming out, and instead of worrying about staining your underwear, I just preferred to use the diaper and just toss it out once it was soiled. Another thing that I used was pads, and it's not just your normal period pads that you wear, it was the very long oversized pads that I used. And so I started off using the ones from the hospital, but those were too jumbo, and I actually purchased some overnight pads from the store for me to use once I was home. But of course, once I was in the hospital, I used the hospital ones and those did the job, but they were kind of uncomfortable. And then when I came home and I used the overnight pads, those were a lot more comfortable. And so I would always just put a pad in my diaper, and that's what I would use 24/7 for the first couple of days. Another thing that I used was ice packs, and I only use ice packs in the hospital. So the hospital provided me the ice packs, and so I used those, and I had my diaper, my pad, and then my ice pack lined on top of it. And the ice pack, it did help with the soothing, but at the same time it was very cold, so it was a little bit uncomfortable like the very first day postpartum. But the second day postpartum, while I was still in the hospital, it was a little bit better and it soothed down there. And so another thing that I used was the witch hazel pads. And so they're just thin little pads. I bought some from the store and I used those when I came home, but when I was in the hospital, I used the hospital ones. And so for these witch hazel pads, I just lined those right on top of my maxi pad. And instead of just putting one little pad, I packed it with at least 6. And so I just lined it along my pad, going from the front area all the way to the back area, just so that everything can all get the same cooling, relieving effect. Another thing that I used was Dermoplast. So for the Dermoplast, I would just spray it directly onto the area, and I used it from the hospital even once I came home. Another thing that I used was a squeegee bottle, and I used the one from the hospital and it did okay, it did the job. Another side note, that a thing that I had purchased for my recovery personally, I wanted my baby fat and that extra fatness that you have in your stomach to kind of slim down. So I decided to buy a faja, which is a waist trainer. And so I bought 2 fajas and I am seeing results. And so I would definitely recommend buying a faja, wearing a faja, and even just trying it out, because I see results for myself personally, and I know that it's also very common in a lot of other women, so I would definitely recommend one. For the second category is breast, and I have a couple of tips under this category. So to get started, first I have breast pumps, and I actually have 4 breast pumps. I have a breast pump that you put in your nursing bra. I have a second breast pump, which is a manual breast pump, 2 manual breast pump. A third one that is a single manual breast pump that I was gifted from the WIC. And the third breast pump is a electric double breast pump from Kaiser. And so I have different varieties of my breast pumps, and I have different pros and cons for each of them. But I was so thankful enough to be able to have different options, and now I can say which ones work for me and which ones don't. Second thing is the breast milk storage bags, and because I am nursing baby on the boob but also breast pumping, it was crucial for me to be able to store my breast milk, and I chose to do the breast milk storage bags. The third thing that I have is the breast nipple covers, and so I use them all the time, every day. Sometimes I have to change them out multiple times a day, but for the most part, I only use them once. And it's also crucial to have nipple cream, just to keep the nipples moistened. You don't want them to crack, and it's just really soothing on the breast. Another thing that I use is a nursing bra. I have a handful of nursing bras, and I also have different types of nursing bras. The last thing that I have for this category is nursing shirts. And so I was able to find some nursing shirts that have the top part built in, kind of like a nursing bra. And so I would use these nursing shirts for the first couple of days once I came home from the hospital, just because these nursing shirts, they're also compression style shirts, and so it felt really nice on my stomach, to be hugged and to kind of have that tight feeling again in my stomach, but also have that 2-in-1 of also the top part being a nursing bra. And the last category that I have on here is meds, and so for the first is my prenatal vitamins. I am still taking my prenatal vitamins even after having the baby. And the second thing that I was taking is iron pills. I was taking these a lot more often right after having the baby, because when I was pregnant, I found out that I was anemic because of my pregnancy. And just to be on the safe side, I was still taking my iron pills a little bit after having my baby. And the last thing is stool softener, and I was using stool softener, I would say, for like a good 3 weeks, 2-3 weeks after having my baby. And this is just because at first, those first 2 weeks where, everything was still fresh, it was still fragile, and just having a baby, it was really painful sometimes when I would have to go to the bathroom and do my business. And so I would take these stool softeners. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, these are just some tips and tricks and some items that I use that help me in my postpartum recovery process. Of course, this varies person to person. I just wanted to share my experience, and hopefully it can help somebody out there in their postpartum experience, whether it's you're a woman and you're pregnant and you're about to have a baby, or you're currently going through your postpartum experience right now as you're watching this video, or even for the woman's partner, they can easily know and be informed and get an opinion of how they can support their woman in their postpartum recovery process. But if you guys have any special video requests that you have, please feel free to leave them in the comments down below. But I hope you guys enjoy. Please give this video a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.